You have not discerned incorrectly about a specific situation that either you were a part of and maybe you're no longer a part of it, maybe you're still involved in it, but you've been affected by it in a negative way. You've been hurt, you've been suffering. That situation that you've discerned and you knew there's something wrong with it, there was something up with it, and maybe the Lord showed you specifically what it is. And the Lord has shared with you that He is going to intervene on your behalf to bring correction to that situation, to protect other people so that they won't get hurt. And He's shared these things with you, what He's going to do, but you're still waiting on Him to move. Maybe it's been months that you've been waiting for the Lord to move. Maybe it's been years, but the waiting has been so long that the enemy has been taunting you and laughing at you and mocking you, and you feel it. And sometimes it comes in the form of other individuals in your lives who they have set themselves up as an enemy against you as well, thinking that the Lord is not with you, that you didn't hear correctly, and that you were wrong. But the Lord is saying today that you have discerned correctly. You have heard Him correctly. If He says He's going to act, then He will act. If He says that He is going to correct situations, then He will correct them. How He does those things and His timing are in His hands. They are up to Him. And as we wait on the Lord and we continue to choose to trust in Him and have faith in what He has shared with us or shown us, we will be tempted to be pulled away from the Lord in discouragement by the enemy and the enemy's lies. We will be tempted as the enemy does laugh in our face and say, "Where is your God?" We're going to be tempted to think that God has left us and abandoned us because He hasn't acted as He said He would yet. A lot of us showing God our heart of faithfulness to Him and belief in what He's told us and confidence in what He has revealed to us and us believing Him is going to be shown in the season of waiting on the Lord. Waiting on the Lord. God doesn't always act as we desire Him to act or as quickly, although we want Him to. Because of that, it can challenge our relationship with the Lord. The enemy wants to pull us away. He wants to discourage us. He wants us to think that God is not with us and that we are alone in this. But the Lord is also watching us. He's seeing if we will continue to hold on to Him, if we will continue to hold on to the things that He's told us in the first place, not doubt what He said, not doubt in His ability to move on our behalf, but really trusting Him and holding on to Him and having faith in Him. I really believe that there's a lot of things that He's going to correct. There's some things He has been correcting, I believe, this year, but I think it's going to continue to show itself soon in different ways, and that some of us that have been waiting for a very long time, God is going to bring that intervention soon for us, and it's going to be glorious. It's going to be amazing. So don't be discouraged. You have not discerned incorrectly. You have not heard Him incorrectly. And maybe other people are starting to think that you were wrong. If you read in Isaiah chapter 53, it says that Jesus Himself, people thought He was being punished by God. In fact, He was put on the cross to save us. And God didn't turn His back on Him. If you read in Hebrews, it says that the Lord heard His prayers and petitions because of His reverent submission. God never turned His back on the Lord. The Lord was with Him in that, and Jesus had to wait for God to intervene. And it happened after He passed away. It happened 3 days later, but He did come back and resurrected. It may feel like and look like the Lord has abandoned you, that God is not with you, but He is going to show Himself to have been with you all along and to have been with those that have sought after Him and been faithful to Him and been His righteous ones. He's preparing a table for you in the presence of your enemies. And when He reveals what He's going to do, it will be in the presence of your enemies that He does it. It's not going to be in hidden or in secret. He's going to show others that He is with those that are faithful to Him. He is with those that are obedient to Him. He is with those who are choosing to be righteous in Him, having the righteousness of Christ in them. He chooses to act on our behalf because it's His nature. He loves us, but also it glorifies His name. It glorifies his name and his ways, which his ways are higher than ours. Don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Even though we are waiting on the Lord to act on our behalf, we still need to remember that we need to give that seat of judgment over to the Lord with those that have harmed us and caused us a lot of pain. Joseph, in the book of Genesis, he was betrayed by his brothers. They sold him as a slave into Egypt. And then Joseph eventually, it's his destiny, it's the plan that God has for him. He becomes second in command in Egypt. And then he saves the future nation of Israel from a great famine. The brothers of Joseph realize that their father has died. They fear for their lives, going back to Joseph, saying, please do not sell us as slaves or end our lives or take revenge out against us. Joseph's response is so wise. He says, am I in the place of God? Am I in the place of God? Saying this because it is only God's place to bring judgment against other people, not our place. He chooses to forgive his brothers, to accept them, to receive them, but he refuses to take the place that belongs to God, which is the seat of judgment. And this is how us as believers are supposed to be as well. We refuse to take the seat of judgment against other individuals in our lives. We forgive other people. We don't hold grudges against people. We don't hold bitterness towards other individuals. We release them to the Lord and we let God move in their lives the way that God desires. And we remove ourselves out of the equation, because if we choose to be the judgment giver in their lives, we are robbing God of what he is supposed to do. If you're waiting on the Lord to bring correction in your life, and you're waiting on the Lord to make things right, be sure you walk in complete forgiveness to those that have harmed you. Don't hold anything against anybody else. Let the Lord move on your behalf. Keep your heart pure and clean. Let God bring the rest about. Let him make things right. Refuse to get in his way. You haven't discerned incorrectly. Have a good day. Bye.